Alright, ladies and gents, welcome to the countdown to Sonic Mania. And today I'm going to be starting with a replay of Sonic the Hedgehog CD, one of the first Let's Plays that I did when I started my channel back in 2014. So, yeah, it's time for me to play some Sonic games again. Because why that being said? Because I'm going to be doing a countdown to being able to anticipate the release of Sonic Mania, done by, of course, Christian Whitehead, the person who did this remastered version of Sonic CD. Forthcoming played the PS10 version, and I can absolutely say the title screen still looks amazing, despite the remastered rejuvenation though. Okay, so of course we're going to start a new game, obviously. Yeah, so let's play as Sonic first. I'm also going to be doing the Tails playthrough as well, so yes. Now, if you actually followed the story of Sonic CD or played it so many times before, you'll see this particular cutscene. And of course, this is the instrumental version of You Can Do Anything or Toot Toot Sonic Warrior. Unfortunately, what happened is that the two main Japanese themes. Yes, that's right. I'm playing this with the Japanese soundtrack once again. There are two. So there are two themes in the game. One of it, this one that You Can Do Anything at Cosmic Eternity, that plays in the credits theme. So the reason being for that, unfortunately, with the instrumental versions, unfortunately, it's because of due to licensing issues, I think. But I think it might be the main cause. But basically, in this intro animation, Sonic does what he does best. Running, spinning, and destroying stuff. That's his belongs to Dr. Robotnik, or is intimidating. And we can see that chain is tied up to a planet called Little Planet, which is roboticized by Dr. Robotnik. Once again, Robotnik is up to no good, and we gotta destroy him and humiliate him for a nut once again. And it's up to the job of the mighty blue blur hero Sonic. So of course we're going to start off with Palmtree Panic. Basically this is a much more colourful and cheery version of Green Hill Zone. So for those who don't know what the game's gimmicks are, well, this one actually plays exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog, so you'll be able to get used to controls. There are a few new moves though. The spin charge, which is basically where you have to charge up Sonic's spin, but you have to wait until the charge finishes completely in order to do it, in order to get it done. But in the 2011 remaster, they added an option for the spin dash to be included. However, what is actually possibly the best move of the lot is the super peel out. Yes, that's right. What Sonic does in his super peel out is actually charge up its speed in like a figure eight. His feet starts running in a figure eight configuration. And all you got to do is to wait for the charge to go in order to get a massive burst of speed. And I'm gonna say that is one of Sonic's best moves in, of course, the history of his video gaming career. Sadly, though, this is the only console game I know that actually makes its appearance, that the Super Peel-Out makes its appearance from, so, yeah. But in terms of course, general moves, Sonic the Hedgehog can do anything like he can in the previous games, especially, of course, the added spin dash option in the 2011 edition, like what I said. What you just saw me do was going into the past with, of course, this game's unique feature, the time traveling gimmick. All you got to do is to go ridiculously fast to go into the past or the future. But you got to go to the past and trash in what we call these robot generators in. Once the robot generators are gone, you'll be able to create a good future. But if you don't fancy going into the past and destroying Dr. Robotnik, foiling Dr. Robotnik's plans, you can always try this alternate method, collecting the time stones. What you just witnessed me doing is, of course, going into the goal ring while holding 50 rings or more, well, after actually reaching the goal. What you're doing here is trashing in some UFOs. There are two different color schemes. One of them is blue and white ones which give you, of course, the speed shoes, but your turning becomes a bit more. But your turning becomes a little more clunky and much more a bit harder to control. while the pink and yellow ones actually give you rings. Chain the pink and yellow ones to get a massive score bonus at the end of this. However, because of the improved frame rate, however, it is actually easier to get all the time stones in this game because of the improved frame rate, it's easier to actually control Sonic, though, compared with other re-releases, well, previous re-releases of this game. And of course, if you get, once again, like in Sonic 2, if you get 50,000 points, you're guaranteed an extra life, or collecting 100 rings, as usual, I see. Now, of course, we're off to Act 2 of Palmtree Panic. So yes, like what I said before I actually went on to the subject of the, what was it, the subject of the time stones thing. You can actually go into the past. I just barely went into the past using that method. I just stopped, but I've still got to the past nevertheless. But wait a minute, Sonic, what are you doing? See, like Sonic's feet must have actually carried too much gravity that I went through the floor. What a silly blue bugger he really is. But anyway, with that being said, Sonic the Hedgehog, what you just saw me go into is, of course, using the time traveling gimmick to get to the past. What you just saw is that robot generator that I described earlier. If you trash it in, you get a good future in a zone. That's one of your main goals, is to get a good future in Little Planet. That guarantees you the good ending. But I'm actually glad that Sega and Sonic team decided to give, well, players two options to, of course, get the good ending. Unlike the other games where you have to just rely on getting the Chaos Emeralds just to get the best ending of the game. Okay, so now we're off to Special Stage 2. Now what you just saw was the easiest one of the lot, but what you've seen here is when you actually go into, well, when you actually go through other special stages, that means getting those UFOs can be progressively harder. My recommendation, I think you must go for the blue one. Go for the blue ones first, because they are more, slower and don't move as fast. And use the bumpers just to straighten yourself out a little bit more. Just to line yourself up for a better hit. And yet we have the more faster moving UFOs, which can absolutely be an incredible bitch to hit. These things right here is what gave me a headache when I originally played this game. Played this on the Sega, the Sonic Gems collection, but it was based off the PC board and it had, of course, the US soundtrack. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the US soundtrack. I just think the Japanese version of the soundtrack is much better for my ears. But I do admit there are some good songs on the US soundtrack compared with the Japanese version. But the Japanese version soundtrack is much better. It's much more upbeat and it fits the atmosphere a lot more perfectly. Kind of like how the other Sonic game, Sonic Mega Drive music, actually fits the atmosphere of each of the atmospheres of the zones in the Mega Drive games. Okay, so we're off to, of course, what is considered to be the boss act. They're only just very short areas. Just move to the right and bam, you're off to see Dr. Robotnik. I've got to say, nice, lovely invincibility, so Dr. Robotnik won't be able to hit me at all. Oh, check this out. Because I've got invincibility, I can absolutely decimate Dr. Robotnik's first machine, and that's satisfying. Now, in terms of Robotnik's boss battles, they actually added a lot more gimmicks in them, especially the Walker Robot with the bump is in front of them. However, what you just saw me do was, of course, the trick that literally everybody tries. Getting an invincibility from one of the areas that you just saw, and, of course, kicking the robot in. Not giving Robotnik a chance to attack me. Now, a lot more fun this time around compared with some of the other boss battles in the Sonic the Hedgehog games. because now that I'm grown up, I've grown out, I've actually mellowed out and got more seasoned. I actually know the boss's attack patterns and the weaknesses, and I can actually destroy a lot of the bosses no problem. There are a few bosses that gave me shit, like of course the Labyrinth Zone boss. Don't even get me started on that, because that's not even a boss at all. Look, that's Robotnik running away like a little pansy. So now we're after to, of course, the game's second stage, the Collision Chaos, and my god, it's full to the brim of bumpers and springs. Ugh. I wouldn't say it's my least favourite. I do actually like the music in this one. I do actually like how they actually got for like a pinball-like stage, a neon happy stage, but it kind of gets a bit too loud at times with its colour palette, though. Oh, and these things. Oh, yes. Of course, going into the past doesn't involve you actually running fast. You can also use these methods. You can use springs to conveniently place springs to bounce yourself off each other, or even use these things in order to get to the past. These are more ingenious ways to get time travel. Oh, yes. Things that make you go, oh yeah. Okay, going on to the subject of Sega CD. It was a CD add-on for the Sega Mega Drive, or it's actually called the Mega CD here in Europe. The Mega CD, however, wasn't great, to be fairly honest. It's an FMV card. It's a disc-based console that mostly consisted of FMV games, which sadly, no, didn't really take full advantage of the capabilities of the expansion. It didn't sell bad. It wasn't a bad seller. I think the 32X actually sold worse due to of course, I think due to it being going out at a bad time at the time when the PlayStation, the Saturn, and of course the Nintendo 64 were about to be released. Yeah, I believe that Sega could have actually had a better time actually preparing the Saturn better than the 32X, because that's what's hurt them financially, which caused them to go into go out of the console market eventually after the Dreamcast flopped. Okay, so well, in terms of other Sonic stuff, I'm hoping to do a Sonic 3 and Knuckles review as soon as possible. Because now I've done the Sonic portion of, and of course I'm also going to do that Knuckles run of Sonic 3 and Knuckles as well. I did promise to everybody I will eventually do a Knuckles run, just to see what Knuckles' gameplay actually offers compared with Sonic and Tails. Because Knuckles has alternate routes you can go into in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so yeah. That's for everybody to see where Knuckles is taken. Alright, so I've got my third time stone. And what you just heard, the level clear theme is basically a shorter version of Cosmic Eternity, Believe in Yourself. Which is basically the ending theme of Sonic CD and the Japanese soundtrack. Okay, Collision Chaos Act 2. Ugh, Jesus, this is where they actually overdid it in terms of the level design. You got these little things you can actually break in order to get some good points. I will admit this right now, this is a good way of actually scoring a lot of points. Of actually stocking up on points and getting more extra lives. I can't believe we've got 8 lives. 8 lives so far. A lot of people say Sonic CD is a lot more difficult compared with the other games. Mostly due to the physics, though. And sometimes sometimes people can actually get dizzy due to the level design. While that kind of is the case, I know that some people actually kind of get a little too dizzy because of how loud this game is, because it was actually released on a CD-based system. because the CD was more capable of holding a lot more, cramming a lot more, stuff in compared with the Mega Drive cartridges. You can actually see the difference between Sonic's this game's graphical presentation compared with the Mega Drive games, and it's a lot more colourful. As well as that, CD quality music has also been used. So yeah, I'm absolutely excited for Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania, why am I looking forward to that? Well, because I played the demos, saw how the gameplay was going to be, and it looks awesome. And it's shaping up to be amazing, but much better every day. Every time I see it, it's shaping up to be better. I even saw that Dr. Robotnik's boss battles are going to have a few, unique ones there. I mean, Dr. Robotnik, however, has got the Death Egg Robot in Green Hill Zone. I thought, holy shit, did Dr. Robotnik up his game this time round? And of course, we have Tails and Knuckles to have playable characters with. And of course, Tails and Knuckles are also playable characters as well, which is pretty amazing. Tails can fly and swim, Knuckles can glide and climb walls. And of course, he has his, combat skills from the Adventure games. Well, basically, technically, his combat skills from the Adventure games and the Advanced series, which he utilised. That first time that his combat skills was utilised in the 2D game was Sonic Advance, but I'm not quite. Well, I'm actually kind of sure that that is one of the first time he had utilised his combat skills in a 2D space. I don't find the Advanced games to be bad, but I will say they do not really compare much to the classic games though. But I will say this now that I would definitely think the Advanced games is much better than that of the Sonic 4 saga, so yeah. I didn't find Episode 1 was a bit too, went a bit too overboard with their physics, But of course I thought Episode 1 wasn't that great due to its physics, or its over-reliance on floaty physics. Episode 2 was much better because it had Tails in it, the physics were refined, and the graphical presentation looks amazing in that game. However, there are a few levels that I just didn't like in the Sonic 4 saga, and I just felt it didn't really fill out the shoes that the classic games left though, so yeah. But what you just saw me do in the special stage was, of course, slowing Sonic down by pressing the down button on the D-pad. Yes, I'm using the D-pad for nostalgic controls, by the way, people. Yes, because using the D-pad on the PlayStation 3 control feels a lot more natural. Feels more, Mega Drive-y. Okay, so in terms of the bosses, this is a what the. Okay, I'm always about to say that I struggle on this boss quite often because of the pinball physics, but I managed to actually successfully cheese him this time out. So yeah, the boss theme is actually pretty happy and cheery and very, very ridiculous, but I will say it's really, really entertaining for the wrong reasons though, because of one song being, samples. It's because of rapping vocals and, of course, a very funky theme, though. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next part for when I'm going to take on the next 3 zones. Tidal Tempest, Quarter Quadrant, and, please God help me, Wacky Workbench. So I will see you guys in part 2 of the Sonic path of Sonic CD.